Have you been lately performing over there in LA? Like, how is the LA scene right now?
No, to be honest with you, I have no idea, dude. I have not played a show since 2019.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, dude. My last show was in December, right before COVID hit, which was in Fresno.
Mm,
And it was this show called, I believe it was called Cold Front Fest.
right.
Shout out the boys from Fresno. Um, yeah, dude, that's the last time I touched CDJs.
Wow.
Yeah, ever since I've been like locked in here. I mean, obviously I go out and do what I have to do with caution, but I don't play shows. I've been sticking to production. Yeah, dude, I miss playing shows. To be honest, yeah, I miss it, dude. There's opportunities where people ask me to play, and honestly, I turn it down just because I don't know, man. Like that could be another subject that we talk about too. Like there's artists that are playing shows during COVID.
Yeah, let's
And
talk about it. Let's talk about it.
I understand artists have to make their money. It's a struggle for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
But me personally, I wouldn't be playing house parties. I wouldn't be playing shows that don't have health precautions just because that's my reputation. You feel me? Like, I don't care if you're going to offer me like what, $500 to play. Like if it's in a room, if it's a house party with no masks, no one's following rules. Like why, dude? You're a problem to the cause. You're adding fire. You're adding fuel to the fire.
You know, it's funny you say that because I don't know if you notice how the Miami scene is right now, but it's basically how what you're describing. And I've talked to some of the promoters in this show that I've released with them, you know, and they're taking precautions in their shows, you know, in their shows they're taking precautions. But I did ask them personally, like, do you think that it's actually a right thing to do? And their answer was basically because you know we need to keep the economy going because if not, then you know we're done for. You know we're done. Like we don't know when it's our next meal and stuff like that. And we're taking precautions. We're doing a capacity limit. Like the only times you're allowed to come to a show, it's only ticket based. So you know, first come first served doesn't exist. It's more ticket. Like if you purchase the ticket, you're allowed to come. If not, then you're not allowed to. They say they do the machines and whatnot, and they tell everybody to wear the mask. But I did ask, it's like, well, but I mean, what happens when they're drunk? Like these people are gonna eventually take off their mask, you know, to drink and whatnot. Don't you think that you're gonna have a fin? And most of them just tell me like, it's an inevitable. It's gonna happen. Like we try to reinforce as much as we can, but you know, people are just gonna do it. And not long ago, before you join into the Zoom call, I was just watching a live show on IG Live from a DJ that I know. And bro, it's insane. Like there was like a lot of people on a Sunday night, a lot of people without mask on. And fuck social distancing. I'll tell you that. Because they were all together dancing with maskless and all that shit. And bro,
it's hard. It's a very hard subject. People, they have the urge to party, you know, they don't give a shit, honestly. Right. But from an artist standpoint, if you know what you're getting yourself into and you know there's not going to be health precautions and you're doing it just to be a DJ and get fucked up and, you know, be the opposite of what you're supposed to be doing, that's fucked up. If you're an artist that needs money, you know, it goes both ways. But at the same time, if you have, at least if you have it in your mind and you know, like, hey, like, I'm going to have my mask on. I'm doing it for financial reasons. And you know you're going to be responsible and the crowd doesn't cooperate. That's not your problem. You're here to get paid. So that's the way I see it, dude. I can see it both ways, man. But honestly, if I was a fan, if I was going to a show, I'm not an artist and I'm there to party and not wear my mask, dude, you're the part of the problem.
Exactly.
Just wear a damn mask, bro. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. And some people might not agree with they have their own beliefs, you know. But me personally, just out of respect for the people that have COVID and their parents that have COVID,
and the ones that I die because of COVID.
Exactly. It's just respect.
Yes.
That's the way I see it.
Look, I don't care if I have to wear a mask. If I'll wear a mask, I'll wear a mask. Fine. Fuck it.
Right.
Let's go for it. But I mean, God, bro, like we're in a pandemic. We still haven't gotten out of this. Why are you being irresponsible by taking off your mask, you know?
Right.
Like in a public area. Like why? Why is it that you have to risk it? Okay, let's say that you don't have COVID. All right. Kudos, good for you. But you don't know if the next person had COVID or not, or is asymptomatic to COVID, you know? You know, you don't know that, bro. They already confirmed that COVID is like airborne. Like it goes from one person to another. It only takes that one person to give you that COVID, man. Why risk it? Why risk it, to be honest? And look, I don't like, I get that these DJs, they gotta do what they gotta do because it's their money. That's their financial thing right now. Personally, me, I will not go out to a show yet until I see things are getting clear, you know? And another thing that I was curious about Mikey when I asked it in the previous episode was like, you know, if they call you to do a show that let's say that in this Tiesto is in town and they call you to, hey, you want to do a back-to-back with him? Are you willing to go with it?
You're asking me?
Well, that I was asking. I was actually telling him.
Oh, okay.
And his response was, yeah, like, you know, if the opportunity is there, he'll go for it. I respect that. But but in my perspective, like, hey, man, I guess I will feel the same way if Zomboy tells me like, hey, let's do a back-to-back. I'll be like, yeah, all right, dope, let's do a back-to-back. But at the same time, I'll be like very hesitant to go as well. I'll be like,
yeah, it goes both ways, man. It's hard. It's really hard because from an artist standpoint, if you get that once in a lifetime opportunity, oh man, like I would want to seize it. But at the same time, I'm going to try my best to be the most responsible about it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to have my mask glued to my damn ears, bro. Like
I'll have even latex gloves and shit, bro. Ain't nobody touching me. I'll be like, yo, fist bumps on that. Yeah, whatever it is, bro. Like,
a lot of people don't know this about me, but I'm actually, I wouldn't call myself a germaphobe, but I'm a very clean person. I wash my hands like not even, dude, I don't wash my hands in an hour. I'm washing my hands, bro. Like that type of shit, dude. I'm around my family a lot. I'm around my grandparents a lot.
Right.
And just to be on the safe side, that's one of the main reasons why I turn down shows. I have gotten opportunities to play and I say no. But, you know, everybody has a story. Not everyone lives with their family or next to their, you know, their older relatives. So, dude, the subject is, it's a vague
subject. It's a very slippery slope, you know, like, yeah, it's kind of vague. It's there's a gray area in this black and white situation, you know. But the reason I asked, because I want to know everybody's opinions about this, because I personally have my own beliefs. Like, I honestly will be very hesitant if Zomboy tells me let's go back to back, you know. I'll be very hesitant because again, I got my brother here. He's my roommate, but I also got my girl. And my girl, she works on a rehab facility that also treats COVID patients. So she's in there in the front lines all the time, you know? And she's like you. She's definitely like very, not germaphobe, but very clean. Like she always makes sure she washes her hands because she actually lives with her sister, and her sister's got new infant twins. It's like they're two.
Okay, so she has to be extra sterile.
Yeah. So, and then that's where in my perspective, that's why I wouldn't risk it overall, because I got my girl and my girl's got her sister's twins as well. So if I go out and I do something and I get it and I can get it to her and she can get it to her twins, and God forbid anything happens to anyone, you know? Yeah. And we're trying to, you know, and that's why I'm like, I'm okay by just chilling in my crib, man. I don't care if I stay here or anything, but because I'm not going to risk it. I'm not going to risk it for my family, which, by the way, my parents come over here as well once in a while every month, you know? So I'm not going to risk their lives as well. I'm not going to risk my brothers, my girls. So look how many people I'm surrounded with. It only takes me to go out one time, and that one time it gets that 90% probability that I may get it, even though I'm completely covered and safe. But why risk it, you know?
And then the people that they're around, it's a chain, dude. It's a big chain.
Domino effect, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. But just to sum up what I said, because some people are sensitive as hell, I'm sorry. But I'm going to put it like this. If you're playing shows, small shows, knowing that there's no precautions, you might want to reevaluate being an artist, because I don't think you care enough about all of us getting better.
I agree.
Let's just leave it at that, man. If you're playing shows that are like drive-ins and they wear masks, bro. People playing drive-in shows wear masks.
Even though they're social distancing with each other.
Even though they're social distance, bro. You go to a damn house party, no one's wearing a mask. Like, come on, man.
Oh, bro, you have no idea how many of these house parties I'm seeing through social media, again, from Instagram, that I see all the time. People having a good time without a fucking mask. I'm like,
yeah.
See, this is why Florida's wild.
Yeah, dude, I wouldn't be able to do it, bro. I cannot. Like, if you're gonna do it and you feel like you're clean, you feel like you don't have the virus, whatever, dude. That's on you, bro. But me personally, I'm straight. I'm gonna stay here till this shit's over.
I agree with you, man. When this shit is over, all right, bro, let's do our thing. Let's get shit
go,
started.
Man. I'm ready.
Let's go, man. But yeah, no, I am risking. I'm with you on that. I respect that, man. I just wish that, you know, many people can see our perspective, you know, about the situation, because I get it. People want to get out of the house. Everybody's fucking tired. They want to get an out. They want to go back to normalcy, but you need to understand what is normalcy right now. Like, you know what it is? Wearing mask, I feel, is like the new normal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think like we're ever gonna go back again to be like not wearing mask at all. Like, even if, let's just say that there's no more COVID case. Hear me out. Let's just say that there's barely any COVID cases. Barely. And I didn't say there's no more. I say barely any COVID cases.
Okay.
And let's just say that, you know, all right, mask is now no longer mandated. I'll probably be wearing my mask here and there to go certain places, you know?
Right. For sure.
Because let me put it this way. Let me tell you this. I found out about this not so long ago, and then I was like, wow, okay. The Spanish flu, they haven't found a cure to that flu. And that flu happened in the 1900s, in the early 1900s, something like that. I
think it was around the 1920s. I'm not exactly sure.
Yes, around there. And those earliest times. Again, Spanish flu, they haven't found a cure for that. That means that shit is still lingering around somewhere, you know? Same goes with the Zika. Same goes with the dengue, with the swine flu, the bird flu, the whatever other flu is out there. Like, look how many viruses and flus are out there that we still haven't found a cure, and it's all based on vaccination. I feel COVID is going to be just like that. I mean, COVID hit us hard, pretty sure. That's guaranteed.
A little too hard.
A little too hard, but I blamed our government for that.
Hey, I'm not going to get into it.
I'm not going to get into it either, but we'll leave it like that. That's that.
We can go for hours, bro. We can go for hours.
But I feel like because such phenomenon happened, I feel like its lingering effect is going to affect a lot of people, especially the people who are very meticulous, like the germaphobe people, that they're always washing their hands and everything. Those guys are scarred for life. That's for sure. Yeah. They're, like, you know, they're gonna, all the time you'll be like, I just touched you. Hold on. Let me just wash my hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're scarred for life, and I don't blame them. You know, I don't blame it. I can see how easily you can get this, bro. Like, it's wild, bro. So that's why I feel like we're gonna be doing like the Japanese trend. You know, when the Japanese they feel sick, they just wear the mask, or when they feel they're in an area in which that's heavily populated and you can easily get sick, they wear a mask. That's why most of these Japanese people wear masks when you see them out there.
Oh, okay.
Hey, respect to Japan, bro.
They are smart for doing
yeah. yeah.
For sure, dude. They are one step ahead, bro.
Like,
and that goes for any race, not just them. That goes for any race. If you wear a mask for feeling sick, respect to you, man, because you might prevent something.
Exactly, bro.
But to like piggyback off the subject and to kind of get away,
yeah,
the COVID talk, it has been a blessing and a curse, but mostly a blessing for us producers because it helped us to grow. It gave us more time to be locked up in our studio and just create. You feel me? I feel like if it wasn't for COVID, I don't think I would have gotten the opportunity with Subsidia because I made the melody of Without You during COVID. I was locked up here.
Look at that. Look at the bright side to that.
Blessed, bro. Blessed. Hey, you gotta submit, bro. You gotta send me some music. I want to hear what you got, dude.
Oh, absolutely. I'll send you some right away, man. Absolutely. I got some.
You got to release on Subsidia one day, bro. You could do it.
Maybe with the songs that I actually have, I can probably do because I have like 2 Modestep songs, 1 regular bro step, and 1 melodic dubstep. Like I think I got enough to make myself my own EP with these guys.
Oh, dude, man, send it. I want to hear that.
I'm gonna send it to you, man. What else? So, all right. So I can tell you that the Miami scene right now is pretty wild. You know, shows are going left and right, and you know, and you say that the LA scene is pretty much the same, or is it like, you know, it's like, no, it's.
I haven't heard of shows in LA, like house parties and stuff like that. Not that I know of. So, but at the same time, like not even show wise, people still go out to restaurants.
Right.
They're not wearing their masks, you know, stuff like that. So it's kind of the same thing.
How is it over there in Cali? Like, I heard so many bad stories about Cali right now during this pandemic. Like I heard like in lockdown that everybody's is fucking everything up, or government's fucking up, or I don't know. Like I heard so many wild stories. Like the fact that Joe Rogan left LA to move to Texas. It already tells me like what the fuck is going on. I thought Florida was wild.
Wait, did he leave LA and go to Texas because of things like COVID getting too wild out here, or
he said that it was between people are getting wild with COVID and so many restrictions are happening in LA and the homeless population is on a rise.
Yeah, people are not listening. They just feel like they can do whatever the hell they want. But isn't in Texas, didn't they lift that law? So it's going to be even worse over there, I feel.
It's going to be worse because say the COVID cases are dropping now in Texas, but hey, let's lift up the mask mandate. But hey, even though we're lifting up, please be wary and wear your mask. I'm like, that's like telling a shark, hey, I'm here, but don't bite me.
Yeah.
I'm here, but don't bite me, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, shit. Like Texas and Mississippi, that's what I heard.
It is what it is, bro. If I had the money, I'd move countries right now.
What country would you go to?
Somewhere where there was a country that they made an ultra. They are COVID free right now. I think it was it Singapore?
Oh,
or like Vietnam, somewhere, dude. They are COVID free, and they were allowed to have an ultra. No masks, bro. No masks. COVID free though. Like, yeah, I'm like, I want to go there.
I want to go there. Dude. Wild, bro.
Yeah. I don't know. You didn't hear about that?
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, dude, that was an ultra festival. Like, no distancing, nothing. Like, as if everything was back to normal.
Wait a minute. An actual ultra did happen in Singapore? Like, I know that Singapore has ultra, but it actually happened?
Yes. I don't know if it was in Singapore, but it was, I believe it was either Singapore or Vietnam.
Or Korea?
No, it wasn't Korea. Let me see if I could find it. I think because you know what, 4B actually played there.
Oh shit.
Yeah, 4B played. Let me see if I can find it. Gotta scroll down. This man has been living the life, bro.
So,
Or was it Thailand? I believe it was Thailand.
wow.
Yeah,
COVID
because
free.
he posted. I can't find the post where he played Ultra. Or you know what? No, it was another festival called 808 Festival.
Okay.
And then I could have sworn it was Ultra, dude. Maybe if I do some more research, but yeah, he did a couple posts in Thailand, and that everything was COVID free. No one's wearing masks or anything.
That's wild.
Yeah, bro. So I want to live there, man. Thai food is the best. Have you had Thai food?
Absolutely, man. Thai food. I love their
Thai food, bro.
I love their fried rice from Thailand, man. That shit is fire,
Dude.
bro.
Shrimp fried rice with a Have you tried the pad see ew noodles?
I have. They're very good, bro.
It's like the rice noodles, a thick white rice noodle. Oh my god, so fire, bro. I always get chicken just because, you know, pork is a little heavier on my stomach, so I got to go with my chicken.
I usually go I go in between, like between pork, beef, and chicken. I always vary, but I always make sure that that's I sometimes go half and half. I sometimes go chicken and beef with noodles and rice. Like that's
Do you ever put the shrimp in your rice?
I personally do not like shrimp.
Oh, you don't like shrimp? Okay.
Yeah. More I stay away most of the time of the seafood. Coming from somebody from Puerto Rico, right? Someone that's from the island. Yeah, I don't eat seafood. Like, I'm the wildest person ever.
Yeah, dude. Hey, man, in Miami, all the restaurants next to your pad, bro, they're so good. Like, there's this. I think you went with this, or I'm not sure, but it was such a long time ago, bro. I don't even remember. It was like this Cuban restaurant. It was me, Kevin, and Disto.
Oh, shout out to Disto, Johnny.
Shout out Disto. He's from Puerto Rico too, no?
No, he's from Costa Rica. Yeah, Costa Rica. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I actually met him for the first time there. Like, I didn't know who he was until Kevin introduced me to him. And then I was like, what the fuck? Like, this dude's like touring with Afrojack and shit.
No, dude. The dude is doing wild things, bro. Like, that was a dope time, man.
Yeah, shout out Disto, man. He's a cool guy. Really cool guy. Everybody that I met, like Modestep, that was my first time meeting them too. Like,
me too.
I know they went way back, bro, but like I didn't know who they were. Like I've never saw Modestep. And then when Kevin introduced me, like, yo, that's Modestep, like I kind of froze and I was like, wait, hold on. So I like pulled up my phone. I was like, Modestep, just making sure. I was like, holy shit, that's them.
Bro, you have no idea how I felt. Like, because it all came all sudden when Kevin told me, like, yo, like, they cancel their reservation, you know, like they don't have a place to stay. Is it cool for them to stay in your place? I'm like, yeah, sure, for sure, man. Like, let them come over here. When I met them for the first time, Josh and Pat, that couldn't be any nicer, man. Those guys, those are our homies, man. Josh and Pat, bro.
Sure. So
yeah, that was my first time meeting Josh and Pat for the first time as well, bro. Like when they came here downstairs at my apartment, like that was dope, you know. And
bro, I thought you knew them. Like I thought you knew them.
I only knew Kevin, and based on Kevin, and that's it, you know. Kevin knows them more than we do, because obviously Kevin put them on a show on Puerto Rico, and then he brought them over to Ultra to perform in Ultra, you know.
Right.
So I only knew from him, and then since then, bro, I've been hitting Pat every other day, bro.
Yeah, dude, Pat is my boy.
Yeah,
bro, I love Pat, dude. Shout out Pat. He is my freaking brother, dude. I tell him this all the damn time, dude. He made me who I am, bro, because I always looked at him. I looked up to him, like, bro, he's doing the thing, you know, him and Josh.
Yeah.
Super humble guys, man, living the dream, touring, doing everything. And they're so humble, which is why I respect them, dude. I want to be like them, bro, because they are just genuine people. And those are the kind of people you want to be around.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, because you often don't see that on many of these high level artists, you know, like for us, we never saw Josh and Pat as like, oh my God, you know, these guys. We saw them as like the real form, as Josh and Pat, you know? They're true.
Exactly. That's what trips me out because before they played Ultra, they were already in the hotel. I didn't know what exactly they did. You know? And I'm just like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, like I can tell they're not from here because they have accents, this and that. And then Kevin's like, that's Modestep. I'm like, that's Modestep, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, bro, I was fanboying. No, I wasn't fanboying, but like inside, I was so excited because I'm like, dude, these are genuine ass people and they're on their way to rehearse for Ultra. Like, what? Like, I don't know, man. It still blows my mind to this day.
Absolutely, bro. And let me tell you, I have met plenty of EDM artists. I've met Skrillex too many times and shook his hand.
Lucky.
And I don't know why God didn't give me a cell phone at that time to take a picture with him, but hey, I was with him. All right, I was with him. I met Zomboy, Megalodon. I met Jeff's Session. Jesus, Funk Case, bros, Borgor. Like I met so many artists, but none of them have been on the same caliber of friendship that I have with Josh and Pat. Like none. And I can tell you, I've been mentored by Dare, by Crimson Child, by Dr. Ozzy or Prophet, but never have I got my great mentorship and friendship just like Josh and Pat, you know? And I've never met anybody like that, and bro, and I'm shout out for them, bro. And I was very, very, very fanboy when Rossi, Myro, the head of Disciple, came to my place.
Wait, he was there too, right?
Yeah.
That's where I met him. I was like, wait, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, insane, bro. Like, little did we know, like, these are the guys.
Yeah.
You know, like, they're the ones that are, like, doing the damn thing, bro. And the way I saw it is, like, I consider myself still, like, of a beginner artist when I met them at the time. And I like you as well. Like I thought you like you're more experienced producer than I was. That also pushed me. That also motivated me to become a better producer because I'm like, you know what, these guys are doing it. Like my boy, like Kevin was like hyping you up. Yeah, Wolfson, like he's doing the thing. You know, he's working. He has a lot of support. This and that. I'm like, I want to get there. Mm-hmm. And by watching you guys, bro. So like, mad respect, dude. Like because of you guys, that's why I'm here, bro. So it's crazy, dude. It's crazy how the world works. And now I'm fucking doing a podcast with you, bro. Let's go.
Let's go. Drop the fire, bro.
Yeah, bro. Right here. Like as soon as I go, let's go. Like you gotta like throw fire or some shit.
Bro, like gotta go the reggae side.
There you go, man.
Gunshots. Let's go.
Works, bro. It's crazy.
No, that's course. And let me tell you, I was still a beginner artist as well when we met, bro. The thing is that at that time when you met me, I was already involved, but my music wasn't still out there as it should, you know?
Okay. So I feel like I felt that way because I didn't have any support at the time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and at that time, I was already out of the promotion game because I was tired of me working for free for them. And, you know, it wasn't doing much for me at that time. So I was just heavily focused on my music and try to perfect my craft as much as I can, you know, and learning little by little, you know. And then every time I send a song to these guys keep telling me like, all right, so do this, do that, and do this and do that. I was like, all right, cool. I was just like you. It's just that I have a heavy audio background when you met me, so I was more into the technical side.
You were doing. Can I say this? I don't know if it's a secret.
No, say anything. There's no secrets.
You were doing vocal packs, if I was not mistaken.
I was, yeah.
Bro, you were doing vocal packs for who?
Hybrid Trap.
Bro, that is crazy because Hybrid Trap was the first label to give me an opportunity.
I remember.
Bro, they signed my single with Blacks. No, the very first one was with Drop Central.
Yeah, with Drop Central.
All I Do. That was
Yeah.
the very first label. And then, yeah, that was right before I hit Miami. It was All I Do.
Whoa.
Boom. And then right after that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna send them more shit because they like it. Like they fucked with me at the time. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna seize this moment. So I sent them another track, which was Out My Face. It was released on Hybrid Trap, like the official Hybrid
Yeah,
Trap
the
label,
official
not
one.
so it was that hard style track with Blacksmith. That boom,
Boom,
boom, get the
boom,
fuck
boom,
up on my
boom.
face.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. Like that was like the very first label that gave me a chance. And it's crazy because you did vocal packs for them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, like it's crazy how like everything's kind of like in a circle.
Yeah, bro. Like it's funny how how life works, you know? Like everything goes around and circle back all the way to the beginning to what we do, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think at that time I was either on my second vocal pack because I did 3 vocal packs with them.
Okay, cool.
And I wanted to release music with them, but you know, they keep telling me like, you know, release it on your page and we'll repost it. And I'm like,
yeah, it's a hit or miss. It's a hit or miss. I got lucky. I guess I just submitted at the right time when they were looking for singles.
yeah, because I released 2 tracks with them on Drop Central.
Mm-hmm.
And every other track that I released on my own was them reposting it, you know?
Okay.
And then the vocal pads, which also helped me a lot as well because that actually gave me a huge following. What else? Yeah, after that, you know, like I stopped contacting them, you know, because I don't know. I've been hearing a lot of stories from them, but I don't want to get into it, you know.
Okay, I didn't really hear about any of that stuff, but honestly, life goes on, bro. You move on to the next thing, you know, you just keep working no matter what.
I agree.
That's one thing that you know what? That's some good advice for upcoming artists. I'm gonna say this right now. If you guys are listening, don't depend on someone. Don't wait on them for an answer.
Yes.
Because you will be stuck waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And nothing's gonna happen, bro. Nothing's gonna happen.
Yes.
And it happens most of the time. So I learned the hard way, you know, bugging and bugging and bugging. And it's like, bro, they're not gonna respond. Don't waste your time. Just go on to the next one. Go on to the next one. Just keep on working.
You know,
that's what it is.
You know, something that I learned that on the later on is that, yeah, because I was stuck with that because I was waiting for someone to answer because one of them was taking so long and I was stuck in the loop. And then later on, I decided to. This was advice that was told by Crimson Child. He told me, it's like, yo, just fuck it. Send your music all at once. Fuck it. What's the worst thing that can happen?
Mm-hmm.
Because like it's that thing. Like if you wait long enough, then you know that song is gonna be there waiting, and then it's gonna be shoved in the shovel, you know, in the drawer,
right,
and never to be released. And then you could have had that opportunity with this other label. So I learned that, bro, if you're gonna send music, send it all at once to multiple people. Whoever says yes to the first one, go fuck with them first, you know, because there's the one who responded with you first, you know. Mm-hmm. And you know what? It works. It works. I didn't manage to get any of my songs released when I did that, but I had response. I had labels respond to me. It's dope. It's not in it for us. Keep sending more of your stuff.
Right.
And it's, I don't know what it is. It's some sort of a pressure that goes inside you when you're on that waiting game, you know?
People get discouraged for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But honestly, sorry to cut you off.
No.
But that's a lot of artists' downfall. They get discouraged and they say, oh, I'm not getting feedback. I'm not getting the support I want. I'm going to just quit. It's like, that's what separates the big dogs from the chihuahuas. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be consistent. You have to bite the bullet and say, you know what? It's not working, but I'm going to find a way. I'm going to keep sending music. I'm going to keep working because if I do, eventually, if I want it bad enough, it'll happen. You know, a lot of people don't see results right away and they just give up.
I agree.
It is what it is, bro. If you quit, that's on you. It's one less artist that we have to worry about in this industry. As harsh as it sounds, it's true because I don't see this industry as a competition, but at the same time, when one artist falls, that's just that's one less person that's gonna be competing for
Yeah.
a time spot at a festival, you know?
Yeah.
So boom, let's just say you give up. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Boom, this guy gives up. I'm gonna keep going. And as the more you know it, you're gonna be up there, dude. Eventually you will get there.
I 100% agree with that, man. It's one of those things that, persevere, dedicate, have patience, don't give up, man. Just go for it. But I do feel sometimes some of these people that do get discouraged very quickly, easily. Like maybe it's because you're not made of steel, not like you don't have tough skin. Not everybody is built for it, But sometimes, mental health comes into play in all this, and that could
Oh, of
actually
course.
fuck up your psyche,
Of course.
Have you ever experienced any of that sort of health issues?
As in like forms of depression and stuff like that, or
Yeah. It's like stuff like that. Let me give you like a brief story, and then you can answer me.
okay.
At one point, you will never believe it, but at one point, I did suffer from depression before we
Mm.
met. I was living by myself in South Beach, and it was the place I was living. It was a shithole place, literally, filled with rats, AC broken. I was close to my work, and my work was a very toxic place to work in. And my creativity was not there, so I was not making music. Like my headset was not in the right place, And I had to fight through my demons a lot, And then it's only when I left there that I started to begin to, heal myself little by little. And I never told this to anybody, but I'm very open about this in the podcast. So, and yet I had to go through some shit, and sometimes when you see some results not happening through, you get discouraged because I was working at that time very often with Nitty Gritty. He was blowing up at the time, and I was given the opportunity to be his either his like bus driver of sorts. Take him to all the places or getting to the tour management, but it never happened because I had bills to pay. I had loans to pay, and they weren't gonna pay me at the moment. They were gonna pay me later when things get like very good, but I couldn't because I had that chain on me, and I had to decline it, and I always regretted it. And there was and then at the same time, my music wasn't getting out there. My music, people didn't fuck with it. It was like a combination of a lot of shit happening,
Mm-hmm.
And then when I met you guys and Modestep, that's when I saw that they things were getting better. I got hired on a new job that I still working currently. Things were turning up, and that's where I saw the light of the tunnel. That is like fucking finally, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go through that shit.
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced any of that sorts?
To be quite honest, not as deep as your story. First off, that's an incredible story. It's major props to you for like getting out of that darkness, and still having hope. That takes a lot of courage, dude.
Yeah, thank you.
For sure. But to answer your question, I have had a form of depression, but not to that extent where I am, living at an area that you don't want to live in, having a very bad job. It was more like just not getting the support that I felt like I deserved. And I did have some financial bumps in my life where I moved here. I actually moved to LA from my parents' house to pursue music, and
Right.
at the time I thought it sounded like a great idea. But I didn't have a job at the time. I quit my job to move here and pursue my career. What the plan was I was going to rent out my studio to people, but the way it turned out was people started backing out, and I couldn't afford my rent.
Oh,
damn.
damn.
So I had to figure out a way to get back into the groove. I got a job and stuff like that, but it was all a mental game, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like moving to LA, not having enough money, not getting the support when you're working your ass off is definitely discouraging, and it puts you in a dark place because it makes you think like, oh, is this decision even worth it? Like, am I even meant to be a musician? Am I meant to pursue this career? Like, should I just quit? but like there's always something inside me that was strong enough to push through and say, you know what, you made it this far, why would you quit? It's like you put all that work just to give up. Like you wasted all of those years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't want to look back at my life looking at my friends succeed, playing at festivals, making money, doing all the things I've dreamt of doing, and I'm just here at the house watching them. Like that's my biggest fear, to fail at life. I mean, and that's not even like, I can have a regular job and be successful. That's great. But I'm talking about my passion is for music.
Yeah.
It's for doing that. And it's like, I don't think I'd be able to live with myself knowing that I gave up. So that kind of pushed me and and made me like realize, you know what, like some people have it tough and others have it easier than others, but I'm going to push my way through no matter what the situation is, because I have that passion. Thank God that I was fortunate enough to have a family that supports me and provide me with certain things. Like if I didn't have food, they would send me some money for food, you know?
Yeah.
And others don't have that. So like, I'm definitely blessed and I am lucky. Some people aren't so lucky. So yeah, but just to make it short, yeah, dude, it was definitely a struggle, but I was lucky, to fight out of the darkness. It was just a mental game, dude.
I 100% agree with you, man. And yeah, there was those times as well that I agree that, it was kind of discouraging when there were so many things happening and, bills to pay. And then I don't have enough time to do certain things as well. And luckily for me as well, I have my parents, thanks to them, I was able to financially be stable to where I am right now, which I have no problems. Still paying for my bills, but thanks to them that, if I needed to eat or I needed, some money for gas or something, that I can depend on them, and I agree. It's that not many people have that luxury, and we're very thankful to have people like that in our lives to do stuff like that. But I'm gonna go into that little particular segue in which the struggling artist routine, Do you feel like it's okay to go through that struggling artist routine to make it without a plan B?
I mean, that's definitely the route that I took, just because I was never I wouldn't say I wasn't a bright student, but I just wasn't fascinated with school. I wasn't passionate about classes and getting straight A's. I was always into sports. I grew up a competitive person.
Right.
So with the way I see it, I was like, you know what? I graduated from high school. I did some college. I realized college is not really my interest at the moment, even though that's kind of an ideal thing coming from like a Mexican background. My family is always about education. So like,
yeah, my family is the same.
So like to turn back and like not go that route, the safer, more guaranteed route to have a successful life, it's definitely risky. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you feel like you're strong about something, just go for it, dude. Because if you don't give that 110%, you're never gonna make it. Ain't no way.
So in that way, I can agree with you, but I'll tell you this. I actually always believe that it's okay to have a safety net.
Of course. No, for sure. Yeah. I agree with that.
Because if things don't work out, like you said, if things don't work out, then what? What can you do to move on with your life? No,
of course.
There was that one time that I was thinking about it. It's like maybe I should quit my job completely and just focus on that. But then I'm a type of guy that I always think chess moves. I'm always 10 steps ahead of me or anyone else. So like, okay, if I do this, what's gonna happen? And I think of all the stuff. Maybe it's overthinking, maybe it is, but I like to think like that because it's thanks to that mentality that I had of having a plan B or C, D, or E, or G that got me to where I am right now, where I won't say that I'm financially stable, but I can say that I'm not struggling anymore. And I got the time to do all my hobbies. Like I played Yu-Gi-Oh on a competitive level. I love playing that card game. I love playing video games. I love doing my podcast. I actually love doing making music whenever I got a chance to.
Mhm.
Spending time with my girl, traveling. There's so many things that if I would have stick to that first route, if I didn't have that plan
Mhm.
B, I could have never had all the stuff that I had. Now I'm very
Right.
multitasking. Now I got other stuff. So one of the things I always tell people is okay to have a plan B or a C, because in life, don't ever put all your eggs in one basket because it's a hit and miss.
Mhm.
Like if you want to put it like that, it's a hit and miss,
Yeah.
and
Very risky.
very risky. And I can say that 7 or 8 out of 10 is a miss.
Right.
So it's not it's okay to have that safety net if you need to. Like if you feel like you need that safety net just to ease your conscience, because that's another thing. It clears up your conscience. Like, okay, that's fine. Like if this doesn't happen, then at least I got this. That's why I'm very multitasking as a audio engineer, because I can actually, like, I worked on a hotel. I worked on the festivals as a stage coordinator. Now I'm working at this job that I have, that I'm the supervisor of doing conferences and shit and whatnot. And if I didn't have that, then I can work on a studio as an audio engineer. And if I
Mhm.
can't work on an audio engineer in that studio, I'll work on a company that builds the stages.
Yeah.
And then and so on, so on, so on. So I already know what's gonna happen if one of these fails on me. I can just lean on the next one.
Right. For sure. I mean, I definitely agree with you. Just so I kind of rephrase what I first said, it's not exactly like, yeah, stick to don't have a plan B and just go straight for it. I kind of meant more like stay focused.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stay focused, stay focused on the prize. Stay
Yes.
your
Yes.
mindset, keep it straight. Boom. But have other interests, tackle the other opportunities, because you never know. It might not work out. But the way I see it, it's like, okay, yeah, I do want to DJ. I want to play for EDC. I want to play festivals. That's for my bucket list. But at the same time, I'm not going to do it forever.
Mm-hmm.
But I love music. So I want to do something that my career will fall off into any category, any subcategory of music. Like instead of playing festivals, I'll make beats for artists. I want to be an audio engineer. I want to make music for commercials, maybe soundtracks for movies, something that has
that's
to do
dope.
with something that has to do with music.
Mm-hmm.
Do something you love, man. Like, why live a life unhappy? Yeah, I'd rather be taking this route and trying many different things that revolve around music than drop music and make money but be bored. Why?
I agree. I mean, and that's one of the other reasons why I took the podcast as well, because it's like, maybe this is the route I should be taking, Maybe this is actually the one that's actually going to get me to the stuff that I want, because I'm around the music, I talk
Right.
to music artists, to people in the
This could be
industry,
your calling, bro. This
Yeah.
could be your calling, man. Who knows? Hey, I really would love to come back next year and see where we are from now. That would be crazy.
Absolutely. I agree with that,
Let's do
man.
it.
Definitely. And I've talked about this with Kevin and Chavalo and others. Like me having a podcast and me talking, I've never felt so much invested and so much happy in a long time. More invested and more happy than I was when I started making music. That says a lot.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
and because of me doing the podcast, it got me back to do music again.
Yeah.
So it was actually a
That's
blessing in the sky for me to actually start doing this, because I felt like this is exactly what I need. Maybe this is exactly what I should be doing for the rest of my life. This is something that I enjoy. I love talking to people. I love hearing their experience. I love sharing ideas. Like, I don't like to be stuck in a rock. I like to be like, let's go do stuff, man. Let's do other things, man. And even now, I'm still thinking about, maybe, man, podcast is this one thing. Maybe I can do voice acting, because I'm very good with voices. I'm very animated about it. So like, maybe that's another calling. Maybe, who knows? The sky's the limit at this point.
Yeah, man. I honestly, after this is my very first podcast, by the way. So thank you for having me, dude.
Oh, happy
Like
for you to be here, man.
this really opened my eyes. I'm like, yo, maybe I should start doing podcasts. This is cool, dude. I like this.
And
Want to start doing like YouTube videos or like vlogs
yeah,
with like different artists. I want to just get more involved, because I've been really focused on just the music
right.
and my personal life, like my fitness life, my family. But it's like I want to get a little bit more involved, especially because COVID, I can't really go out. Well, we can't go out. So like this is such a cool thing to do right now, dude. I'm gonna hit you up for some pointers, bro.
For sure, man. You always got me, man. Hit me up whenever you can, man.
Oh yeah, bro. Do you have any more questions?
I do have a few more.
Shoot them.
So one of the things I actually wanted to ask you is, what is your creative process when you're doing your thing, man? When you're doing your music,
like how I start.
Yeah, like what inspired you, or what got you into, or how do you start your drop or your sounds? Like what's the creative process? Tell me what goes inside your head of I'm doing a session.
Dude, every day I come into the studio, my mindset is just freestyle, bro. Whatever I feel. I never walk into the studio like I'm going to make a dubstep track. That's not how my mind works. Like I come into the studio with an open mind. I listen to multiple genres of music to get inspired. So I come into the studio like, okay, there's some days where I feel comfortable working on a melody first. And then there's some days where I like making the drums first. So most of the time I prefer working on the melody. So that way I can build a foundation of which way I want to drive the track. That's kind of my process lately. When I first started making music, like I didn't really have much melody into my songs. It was more just suspense and drops, like atmospherical sounds and drops, so that would be my focus. Drops first. But now I go back into it. I'm like, no, I like my stuff with more emotion, more, it's just because when you start a melody, it's like you can go anywhere with it.
Right.
That's the way I feel. Yeah. So I do the melody. I'll start off with the regular piano.
Right.
Bad boy right here. I start off with the piano and then I switch the sounds. So it's like, okay, piano's cool. That's like my skeleton. I start with that. And then I can like copy the MIDI, repaste it and change it to like strings or change it to like plucks. And then I'll start messing around with the melody then. So once that's said and done, boom, I do that. And then I layer on my effects just to fill it up, because I don't like my stuff empty.
Right.
I tend to like layer my production. I don't know if you've noticed, but like a lot of my songs have a lot going on. Like
I don't want to say anything, all right? But yeah, go on.
Yeah, dude, I don't know, man. I sometimes tend to overthink things, but I like my stuff layered. So I start off with the melody, throw on my effects, and then I throw in the drums. But the drums are freestyle, dude. I can think of a cool melody at like 150 BPM, and then I can go a trap route or I can go a dubstep route. It goes both ways, bro. It's just whatever I feel at the moment. Like if I come back from a long day of work and I'm tired, I just want to chill, I'll make like a cool vibey song,
Okay.
Chill, trap drums, whatever.
Yeah.
But then there'll be a day where like I just come back from a workout and I'm pumped. I'm like, all right, cool. I want to make some hard stuff. Like I'm looking at YouTube videos. I'm looking at like Carnage throw the fuck down at EDC. I'm looking at Excision throwing down Lost Lands. I'm like, bro, I want to make some heavy stuff. You feel me? So then I come with like the crazy brass stuff and like the ambience and the war drums, and then like the bass stuff.
Right.
Like that's how my most recent single, it's called Motherfucker. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it was released on a label called Dark Motive Records. They're like a new upcoming label.
Okay.
That song was first made, it's kind of like a tridum, hard trap screeches, but with like a rhythm drop. Bro, you have to hear it. Like, I'll send you the link after.
Send me the link afterwards. Absolutely.
Yeah, I got you. But when I first made it, it started off as like war drums, suspenseful intro.
Oh shit, I'm already imagining it.
Yeah, to the heavy drop. But here's the twist. It was supposed to be a collab that didn't end up happening. So I went back, listened to it again. I wasn't really feeling it. So I changed the intro and then beefed up the drop. So, dude, I go back and forth with my creative process. I can go from crazy intro to crazy drop, or from chill intro to chill drop, or even a little bit of both, you know? So, yeah, bro. I mean, the possibilities are endless. I don't have a certain mindset whenever I go into the studio. It's just whatever I vibe with. Sometimes I even make a song and end up not keeping it, like, or I make a song and then I change the melody completely and it's something totally different from what I started with.
That's pretty cool. So
I'm freaking random, bro. I'm just a weird ass dude. I'm just, yeah, bro. I have no certain foundation, bro. I just go in and just do whatever I want, man.
Hey, everybody has their thing, man. I usually start with the drop right from the get-go.
Really?
Yeah, that's my creative process. I guess if I get so pumped up on a song that I listened on the car and I was like, oh my God, this song got me. I'm like, oh shit, I can't wait. When I open the session, it's like, oh yeah, let's make something like this. Let's go. And then I get it, and then I just work around. Once I got my drops, then everything just makes sense. I just go.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Like, honestly, I might have to go back and do that because I have lately been struggling with my drops. Like, I can't seem to find a drop that'll complement my melody. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I might just do that. I might have to do that just once to see what happens.
Well, I could give you a word of advice. This is from Josh. When you're doing, I don't know if he told you this, but this is something he told me. When you're doing a drop, start with one sound. Once you got that one sound, multiply it a couple times and have different effects on each of those of that one sound. Let's say on Serum, you created your sound with your wavetabler right now. Now multiply it on the next one, change the wavetabler. And then on the next one, add a new effect. And then the next one, change the patterns, stuff like that. And then before you know it, you got like 5 or 8 different sounds based on that one sound that you started. And what you do is basically like fucking Tetris or Legos. You start chopping things out and changing the patterns and adding effects and whatnot. Before you know it, you got yourself a constructive drop based on that one sound. And when you believe it or not, it's all cohesive. Even it may sound different from the original sound, but it all came from the same sound. You can tell it's all cohesive. That's something that he taught me. And then another thing to add up that I do, once I got that sound, once I got lay out my drop that I want, I slap Portal into it.
I might sound like a beginner, but what is Portal?
It's a VST plugin from Output. I guess this is like the best FX plugin to make sick sound designing when you're resampling. Like if you want to resample, you basically slap Portal to whatever you want and you move the macros, and I kid you not, it gives me the most glitchiest and gnarliest sounds ever. Like,
I might have to look into that, dude, because the only plugins I use is Serum. I kid you not. This is not a joke. I tend to like resample a lot, but Serum and then Ozone just to like master.
Hey man, I use Serum as well. That's like my only sound designing plugin. I had Faceplant before, but I couldn't fuck with it much. I have Vital just to have Vital because it's free, but I don't fuck with it that much. Fat Filter, I have to have the Fat Filter EQ. That's the only one. And Ozone. Like any other plugins, it's just Ableton stock plugins. That's pretty much it. And I'll tell you this, bro. My sound designing, I'm gonna send you one of my songs, bro. One of my songs is because thanks to Portal. Like that's how you're gonna get your sound designing to your next level. I gotta check this out. When you're resampling, and then you start fucking up the sounds even more, you get amazing results, bro. I'm telling you. Look, this is something that I highly recommend everybody. If everybody wants to do resampling, do that, bro. See, that was the problem I was facing when I was doing sound designing, is that most of the time I was taught by these big heavy hitter dubstep guys, and I started to sound like them. And I couldn't fuck like start to sound something like me, you know? Most of the time sound like me. So how the fuck can I be original and not sound like someone else?
Right.
Fucking Portal, bro. Portal basically is the key answer because it resampled my sound and changed it. And I only did presets. The presets that Portal has.
Yeah. How much is that plugin?
$100 the last time I bought it. I don't know how much is it right now, but I'm gonna check that out for you right now. You know, like,
okay, for sure. Yeah,
it was.
I'm gonna have to look into that, man, because that sounds like pretty promising.
No, it's something that I will highly recommend everybody to get if they ever want to sound. If they want to sound design to the next level and sound much more like out there and original, you will have that. Which brings it to my next question. When it comes to sound design, do you consider sound designing a luxury or a necessity, in your honest opinion?
A luxury, man. A luxury.
Really?
Yeah, dude, but it could also be a necessity now that I think about it, because in order to be unique and be you, you make your own sound design, you know? So, but at the same time, you don't really need it. You could always post-process. You can always just get other samples and then just technically you make your own sound design out of that.
Right.
But it's not your sound design.
Mm-hmm.
You get me? It's just post-processing. But to be more original, I would say it's a necessity. For sure, because you want to stand out. You want to have your own sound.
Right.
At first I thought it was the other, but I'm like, wait, I think about it more now. No, it's more like a necessity.
Right. Now, the reason why is because me and Chavalo, we feel like the same thing. It is a necessity for bass producers. Now, with people like Mikey, who is a house producer, for him is a luxury. It's not a necessity because
right. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, because as a house DJ, like you pretty much you just need nice chords and melodies and stuff. Like you don't really need
nice little bass line.
Yeah, you don't have to be a fucking Einstein to do crazy shit in the house world, you know? Whereas in the bass scene, as a bass producer, I mean, this is where you get all the most glitchiest shit ever. That's where you get the most thoughtful things ever. Like, you know, it's funny that a house producer cannot be a bass producer, but a bass producer could be a house producer.
It's crazy that you say that because I could kind of see that. I see what you mean.
Because
some people can, but it's rare.
Rare. I'll give you that rare occasion, but not everybody. And I can tell you, like, I can make a house song right now, and it's gonna be the sickest house song ever because of in terms of the sound design. Like, you will never hear such a dope sound like that on a house track per se, you know?
Right.
So that's why I feel like, you know, as a bass producer, and even if when you're an up and coming producer in the bass scene, you need to be great at sound designing because that's gonna be like your bread and butter. That's how gonna define you as a producer and stand out with others because you're literally in competition with millions of others that is gonna be pretty much sound the same or same as your peers, you know? And you wanna be, you know, you don't want to be as original as possible.
Right.
Which is
for sure. And there are well, go ahead. I'll tell you after.
So, which is why that was one of the things I was facing. Remember when I told you that was starting to sound the same with like all these other artists, and I need to find something. And that's where I found VST's plugins that can help me get out of that. So I can give you a sound that sounds the same as Modestep, but once I use my VST and start resampling, it's not gonna sound like them, and it's gonna sound super original, and you're not gonna even tell that it came from that, you know. And
for sure, man.
This is the Portal. This is the plugin. It's called Portal. It's a granular FX plugin.
Oh, okay. It's a granulator. Okay.
Yeah. So it's $150 right now, but you can get it at Sweetwater and pay for 3 months, like free payments out of that 150. So it's like 50 bucks per month. Yeah.
That's not bad.
So I highly recommend you getting this. Highly, highly, highly. And I'll show you some of the songs later afterwards.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely look into that, dude, because I've been looking for something because Serum can only do so much.
yes.
You know, it's like, bro,